In today's video, I'm going to show you how to go from this to this in just a few simple steps. Stick around. Hello and welcome to part 2 of how to make a baseball bat. In part 1, we went over how to select a billet, the tools you're going to need, and we shaped the baseball bat and sanded down to something like this. So now that we're at this point, it is time to get some color on this thing. The guy who ordered this one wanted a stained handle with a blue barrel. So first thing we got to do is go get some stain. So after looking around, I decided to go with gun stock. I'm a little afraid that it's going to be a little bit light, but I think that it'll turn out pretty good. I think it'll look good on that blue barrel. We'll see how it turns out. So here we are at the lathe, and I'm going to do all the staining on the lathe, although it's not necessary, it just makes it a little bit easier. You can see that I used a few test stains here, but I've decided to go with this gun stock, as I said earlier. Because this is a two-tone bat, I have to make sure that the color stops at the right point. Usually we want the cutoff right around 18 inches, but because this one fades a little bit into the handle, I think I'm gonna go up to 19 inches with the stain on the handle. So to do that, I'm just going to use a glove, which you don't need to do, but I am very messy. And then I have these shop rags and my stain, and all I'm gonna do is I'm going to rub it around 19 inches and get it all in there. Now that we've applied the stain, all we're going to do is let it sit for just a second, and then we're going to take another one of these rags and wipe it off. So I'm actually very happy with the color that this turned out. I'm going to let it sit and dry just a little bit before I get started on the barrel. So it has been a few hours and the stain is starting to look real nice. And I think it is time to add some paint. So at the moment, all I'm using are just these Krylon spray paints. You can get them from Lowe's and Home Depot. Just about everywhere they have these. So far they've held up pretty good with the finish that I use over top of it, and I haven't found any cracking or flaking or anything yet. If you have any suggestions for a different kind of paint or a different technique, please let me know in the comments below. I would greatly appreciate it. All right, so for painting, I am going to turn the lathe on. It makes it easier to get an even coat on here. I am gonna have it on the lowest speed that the lathe can go. I'm gonna keep a mental note that 18 inches is right about here, right in between these two grains here. And let's put some paint on this thing. It's important to do very, very light coats on this. It makes it, you get a way better finish in the end, and it'll make it pop. All right, it's been about 20 minutes, so we will put on another coat. Reminder that 18 inches is about right here, so we need to go a little further than we did the first time. And here we go. All right, and we're ready for coat number 3. Again, we're gonna stay right around there. All right, so we're back in the garage again, and this is where we left off. The paint is still a little wet, but I think that fade into the colors turned out pretty good, and it's time to cut out some decals. So to cut out some decals, I made a logo on my iPad, and then I bought a silhouette vinyl cutter off Facebook for 40 bucks, and it seems to get the job done pretty good. If I wanted to upgrade in the future, I could. But for now, I'm pretty happy with what I got. I've just been using some vinyl that I got from the Hobby Lobby down the road. It's real cheap, it's been working really well, and they have transfer tape to go with it. And altogether, it was less than $10. Okay, now that we have our logo cut out, it is time to put it on the bat. It's important to know what kind of wood you're using. That way you know which face to put the logo on. On maple and birch bats, you would put the logo on this edge grain here, so that the ball you would be hitting off the face grain. But on ash, it's the opposite. You want to put the logo on this face grain and leave this edge grain exposed. And this will be the hitting surface. So we're going to line it up right about here. And I like to put them just about 18.5 inches up the bat. And we'll rub it in there, make sure that it is on well. And then all we have to do is peel off our tape. And there we go. Now we are ready to move on to finish. Now there's many different options for finish. You can use an oil-based, a water-based, a high gloss, a low gloss, a matte. Personally, I like to use this spray finish. This is a poly, it is a high gloss, and the spray makes it easier for me to get a even coat. A lot of places like to dip their bats, but I don't have the equipment to do that yet. So I'm going to use this, and I'm gonna just put it on the same way I did this spray paint, and it'll help keep the bat hard, and it'll give it a nice shine as well. All right, the finish is now dry and we are looking really good. So now the next step is we gotta cut these ends off of here. So I'm gonna take it over to the miter saw and let's get this thing finished up. Okay, now because we cut the end off, we do have a little section in there that is unstained. So we're just gonna go ahead and throw a little bit on there, kind of even it out. Doesn't have to be perfect, but we'll try and match that color. And in a few minutes, we'll rub that off and it should look pretty good. So before we paint the end here, I wanna weigh it to see if we're within our weight specs. We'd like to stay somewhere in the drop 3 range, so a 33-inch bat would be 30 ounces. So I have a scale here, and let's see what we are at. All right, so we are almost at 33, which would be a drop 0, and we want this thing to be a little lighter than that. So what we're gonna end up doing is we're gonna put a little cup in the end, take a little bit of that weight out. So when cupping a bat, I like to start with a Forstner bit and a drill just to take some of that material out of there. That way it's easier on the cupping bit. This, I believe, is 1.25 inch bit, maybe an inch. Can't remember off the top of my head. But it should take some of this material out. That way we can get it over to the cupping machine. So now that we have some of that material out, we will go over and cup it. So this is my current cupping jig. It's nothing fancy. It's just a router with a router dome bit in there that I believe is 1 3/4 inches. So it is a perfect size for a cup. And then I just kind of mount the bat down below here, push it down, and we get a good cup. These bits are known to burn the material quite a bit. So if you have a drill press, use a drill press instead. So here I've got the bat mounted in there, and let's get this thing cut out. All right, so after cupping, we were able to get about 1 ounce off of this bat. It's not a lot, but it's better than nothing. With the torpedo barrel on this bat, it does feel way more balanced than a regular 32-ounce bat. This is only about a drop 1. It's still heavy, but it feels pretty good. And like I said earlier, there is a little bit of burning going on in there. If I wanted, I could paint it up and then throw some more finish on there. I think I'm gonna put a little bit of finish in there just to kind of keep things strong and held together. But other than that, I think she is ready to go. There's the end where I stained the end of the bat, and she is looking good.